Chapter 28. Awakened in a Dream. Eternity begins with pure self-identification, I am the indissoluble space of nirvana. The second stage of creation is the creation of knowledge from the first spirit's first letters. The space of knowledge fills with itself the space of nirvana, becoming one. I plus knowledge equals consciousness. The second stage of creation is the creation of etheric body in the image of a living plastic individual consciousness, or what we call the soul. This individual body is in the calm ocean of knowledge, as in the space of ether in which the self-transmission of its knowledge to itself takes place. Etheric body in the image of its own vortex of consciousness, absorbing knowledge from the ocean of knowledge as from etheric space in the image of volumetric image waves, transforms these waves in its individual etheric body of consciousness into images, builds from them the perceived reality around itself. This etheric body is the God creator of its own universe, which individual consciousness builds around itself as its new image of sleep, and the game in this new image of sleep, transforming the knowledge of the unified ether in his etheric body in his own image, as an artist lives in the image of his unique universe and perceives his universe as a single life of his own, smoothly falling asleep under the power of his own dream. Of course, in this universal dream, game scenes in the image of planets are built, also built in the individual consciousness of the etheric body of the God of his own individual universe. They are etheric copies which begin to play with each other in a single game, which is called life. At some point in the game, the etheric copies of the Creator God have a desire to touch the images surrounding their etheric body, and the etheric body or avatar of the Creator God, lowering its vibrations, synchronizes with the visible images around it, becoming material, and still bites the forbidden fruit of the apple from the tree of knowledge of his dream, materializing in synchronization, sinking into full presence, enjoys the dream of life around him. When he falls asleep, he becomes a player in his dream. In this knowledge lurks the answer to the question, what came first, the egg or the chicken? First, there was an etheric body of a chicken, created by the God Creator. By lowering the vibration, it materialized to become a material chicken, and then it laid an egg. Digression. When our pure self falls asleep under the power of dreams of life, it becomes a dream, which is equal to a sun. A dream is equal to a sun. But when our pure self comes out of the power of dreams, the sun becomes an awakened Buddha, God Father. Therefore, at the moment of awakening, the sun says the phrase, I and the Father are one, because I have awakened from the dream of a son, becoming a father, awakened by God Buddha, and vice versa. When God falls asleep, then he dreams a dream in which he plays a son. Therefore, those who know these eternal truths, the awakened ones, teach those who are asleep so, there is no one too perfect, because your etheric body is always perfect. It just sleeps under the power of priority karmic image accumulations in itself, and its dream leads its imperfection as a dream, which it's used to see, materializing a physical body from its thoughts. It creates for itself in a dream a fulcrum or a house for full immersion in a dream, in which it sleeps comfortably and acts in the dream, making the dream real. That is, with full immersion in the 7D chakra reality, so the etheric body of individual consciousness falls asleep under the power of its own dream in full immersion in its own reality. Then hundreds or thousands of full immersions in its own dream with the accumulation of its own karmic priorities, to the moment of feeling suffering from the same dreams. And finally comes the desire to change something or wake up. And for this, it's necessary to know the way to waking up. The knowledge of the way is available from teachers. It speaks about dissolution of internal individual karmic bindings of the etheric body, soul, dissolving which we dissolve our own individual preferences of visible dreams of life and our own preferred self-identification. And when we dissolve our own preferences, we become free from self-imposed dreams of life, passing from the state of an individual prisoner in his own dreams of life, which is the state of a son, to the state of an awakened Father Buddha, a free wanderer in the One Self. When there is an awakened in the One Self, all the others dissolve in the awakened state and are seen as endless characters in the dreams that he himself created. The state of the One Self leads to complete calmness of the pure I. The state of the One Self, opening all the doors of infinite dreams in the unified Self. As priorities and desires are dissolved, there remains a spontaneous journey through the infinite universal dreams of the unified Self. From this moment, all the doors lead to the unified Self, and also the etheric body, left for games, opens the door to any dream of life of sleeping children. It happens spontaneously, mostly at the request of sleeping children themselves. When in the dream of life, they ask God for help in their prayers. But basically, such awakened one, already is one, is engaged in what spontaneously appears in various universal dreams of the unified Self to harmonize the unified Self with the help of an instrument, the unified consciousness, which like a magic wand can instantly change the reality in front of the dreaming sun. So the awakened one harmonizes the dreams of his children, which is the harmonization of the unified Self in its integrity. Therefore, until the state of unity in complete calmness in the pure mirror of the Self is reached, the dream still continues, and in the dream the second ones are seen. The second ones bring disturbance concrete into the dream. Therefore, the practice of awakening begins with controlling reactions to the dream. Less reactions, closer awakening. In complete non-reactive calmness to the dream, individual preferences and self-identification dissolve. I am a character and judge in the dream also dissolves. Individual consciousness called mind dissolves in the unified ocean of consciousness, dissolving in the unified Self. The eternal knowledge of the Self returns. The returned knowledge calms the unified Self. You begin to arrive in complete tranquility as a pure mirror of the unified I, with full awareness of the unified Self. Sometimes you take your instrument called etheric body and with the help of it, plunge into your universal dreams to help their sleeping reflections, materializing into one of their infinite images in their dreams, to help or awaken them at their request. If you change the focus of the pure Self from the etheric body to your unified consciousness, then you become one again, which is everything as the space of nirvana in your unified knowledge, arriving in your unified consciousness as in a pure mirror, which reflects in itself all its unified eternity. Thus, alternating between sleep and awakening, God becomes Son and Son becomes God. And this process is governed by the eternal thirst of the One for self-knowledge. Having created an eternal engine of various universal dreams for its knowledge, the pure Self, Nirvana, falls asleep and awakens in the games of dreams with itself, lulls itself into beautiful dreams, pulls itself towards awakening, plays with itself in eternal freedom in dreams, imprisons itself in the dungeons of dreams. In the pure I, awakening and sleep are seen as equal states of the unified I, and striving for one of the states of the unified I removes the joy of being in the other. Therefore, having balanced both states in himself, the practitioner becomes awakened in sleep from this new state for himself, not attached to the personal dream of life. He watches the dreams of all his eternity, enjoying his awakened state inside any dream of his eternity. This harmonious state harmonizes the state of eternal, tranquil bliss in which the pure self of a practitioner who has reached the highest state of practice resides. The practitioner who has reached this state of eternal tranquil bliss in himself alone ceases to be a practitioner, becomes tranquil bliss itself. From it, he self-harmonizes himself alone. Therefore, staying in the pure I can be called a path. The path cleans the karmic bag of individual consciousness. In the pure bag, the smell of ego dissolves. Without the smell of ego, the traveler becomes light and grows wings of freedom from priorities and self-identification. And such a traveler, having thrown off karmic chains, changes his image of a cowardly hamster in a hole to the image of a fearless free eagle, flying to the heights of the highest purity of knowledge of the one and only self. The purity of knowledge completely removes the last weight of dreams. The traveler awakens to the one and only I, arriving in the full calm consciousness of the one and only pure I. From this state, all dreams are seen as a miracle of a living diamond, pleasing the one and only pure I, which calm bliss in every moment. If there are any other states than tranquil bliss, it means that the dream is still strong and carries with it flowersome states to the sleeper. So the one who has reached its pure tranquil bliss of the unified self, with a single thought he penetrates into the infinite dreams of the unified self. Where my thought is united, there I am. Where my thought is united, my dreams take the necessary images in a single moment. Universal dreams are created like a miracle before the eyes of one. Our pure I has created for its full satisfaction in self-knowledge to itself from itself, a magic wand in the image of its unified consciousness, which will show any infinite miracles made from the consciousness to the eye looking at it from the pure I, and our pure I will explode with joy like a god child, thanking itself for the miracle in front of itself. So our pure I, having purified from karmic dreams, again becomes a pure child with eyes wide open, marveling at the wonders of its own unified eternity, and already, not caring to fall deeply asleep more and more, begins to play a sleeper if the spontaneous situation requires it. So the practitioner achieves full calm bliss in himself, becomes one, having enjoyed the calm bliss to the full, strives to suffer again in his dreams. The semicircle of paradise, awakened in dreams of the unified consciousness, is replaced by the semicircle of hell, of the deeply sleeping individual mind, so that the two semicircles become a circle, the eternal game of the unified consciousness, reflected in the pure mirror of the nirvana space of the unified I. In this way, being a pure mirror of the unified I watch the eternal play of my consciousness, remaining always pure I.